Hey everybody, this is Meredith from the Papery Craftery, and today I'm not doing a project tutorial, I'm going to be doing a technique. And what I'm going to be showing is all the different ways I do outlines in my quilling. So this is all the on-edge quilling that I've been going over for a few projects recently. Anytime I go outside only doing lines, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that I do it, break it down so it's really easy, and I hope this really helps. So what I'm showing today is, again, the way that I do the outlines or the on-edge quilling of my projects. So I start with a standard commercially made 1/8 inch paper, because that's the paper I normally use, and I fold an entire strip in half, right down the middle. Then I take my white glue, this is plain Elmer's white glue, in a small container, a needle nose container, and starting at the fold, I make a small line all the way down from the fold to the end of the paper. And if I miss any gaps, I go over and I put a little bit more glue. I don't need a ton of glue, but what I do need to make sure is that there is glue, even a little bit, on every little inch of this paper. So you can see I kind of hold it between my hand and just a little bit of glue, moving it as I go, all the way to the end. And then what I'm going to do is, very carefully, trying not to make a mess, I'm going to fold the paper again. And this is kind of the trickiest part here of the whole thing, is holding it just like that. I don't know how to explain it other than I'm using 3 fingers, 2 to hold the sides together, and then 1 to kind of hold the top in place, and just going to pull it right through, almost like a zipper, making everything all come together. And I found if you just use a little bit of glue and keep your fingers on the side for the first pass, it does stay pretty straight. And then what I do is I turn it over and I just keep running my fingers down, turn it over, run my fingers down, just to make sure there's no air pockets or any bubbles. And then I set that aside to dry. And now for a little troubleshooting. Let's say that you did end up having a gap in your paper where maybe you didn't have any glue and you can see a little bubble. Not the end of the world. If you have a very small pair of scissors, you can just make a snip on one side, and then you can put some glue on the pieces that you missed. I would go ahead and put some on both sides just to make sure that everything has a little bit of glue. And then all you need to do, close that back up and pinch to seal. Oops. And be careful you don't make it wrinkled like I just did there, but I just smoothed it out again, so it's still no problem. If you found that your double thick strips like this one here are not thick enough for your need, you can always, after the glue dries, go ahead and fold them in half again and repeat the process, and that will really make it very, very sturdy and thick. So again, just fold it in half and run some glue from one end of the halfway point to the end of the paper, and then fold it back up and pull through to make sure that everything is straight and square. So now this piece is really, really sturdy and quite thick. It is, again, 4 pieces of quilling paper essentially stacked on each other with glue. So this really is going to hold up nicely. These are really great for flower stems. And now, how do you use these for an outline? So first I just made a real quick circle template. And I'm going to show you how I would do a curved outline with one of these strips. I always start with torn edges, so I tear both of them just to make any place where I start and stop a little bit smoother. And I start with 1 dot, sort of like an anchor. And normally, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I would let this set just for a minute or 2, but for time's sake, I sort of am just forging ahead here. and I put a pin on either side. And again, normally if I let that sit for a second, that wouldn't move like that. Pin on either side to keep the paper still, and I brush away any extra glue. And then, continuing the same way around the curve, normally it wouldn't be a circle, it would be whatever type of curve you're doing, but I put a little bit of glue every half inch or so, and with the help of some straight pins, I make the paper follow the path as closely as I can. And again, this is something I'm making just for this video, so this would not be as slowly as I would normally do this process, but I just wanted to show you that sometimes I put the pins on the inside of the curve and sometimes on the outside. It sort of just depends the way the paper is kind of moving. It sort of just tells me which way it needs to be. And sometimes gravity also shows me which way I need to put the pins. So a little bit more glue and a few more pins just to keep the curve going. And now I also wanted to show you what happens when you run out of paper but you still wanted to continue the same line. So you can see here, this strip is definitely not going to reach the other side of the circle. So what I would do is go all the way to the end. So you can see there, right to the end. So little pin, little glue all the way to the end. And then I'm going to take another piece of quilling paper that I've already made into a double thick strip, just like the other ones I've done before. Tear off one end and then sort of measure how much I need. It ends up being like a little connector piece from one end to the other. And then I would just use a little bit of glue on one end and a little bit of glue on the other end as well. And as long as everything's the same thickness and as long as you're working with torn edges, the seams will be pretty hard to see. Also, if you have a pair of tweezers, that would really be helpful at a time like this. I like to, instead of just leaving pins to do the work, if I use my tweezers to grip where the paper meets, it really makes that seam even tighter. So again, this isn't a perfect circle. If I was doing this for a project, I'd take my time a little bit more, but I get a lot of questions on my website about how to make my outlines or how you make your on-edge quilling not wavy, and using a double thick strip really, really helps. I also had to take a moment to demonstrate how to do straight lines, because you'd think it would be easier. It's, a straight line, how hard could it be? But it tends to be even a little bit more difficult. So just like I did with the circle, I start off with one place and I start off with torn edges. Then I like to kind of just pull my paper real tight. It's not going to be perfectly straight just by that alone, but just making sure there's no bends or anything to it is just a good habit to get into to start. And again, just like the circle, I put a little dot of glue down and a pin on either side to anchor it. And then also, just like the circle, I didn't let it set for a moment like I normally would, so I don't like the paper moving like that, but that was my fault for not taking the time I normally would. Continue down the line with a few dots of glue here and there, trying to keep it all as straight as possible, and then add your pins. And this time you really want to make sure you're putting pins on both sides of the line. I normally just kind of go back and forth as close to the line I want the paper to be on as possible. But I don't want to bend the paper in any way while I'm on a straight line. And then whenever you get to a point, you would put a pin, bend the paper around the pin, pinch it a bit with your fingers, and then move up along the next line. And as long as you leave that pin in there, everything's moving again, see, didn't let it set. As long as you leave that pin in there on that corner, it will make a nice sharp crease. I'm going to do it again here, just a little pinch. That pin really helps that corner stay nice and sharp. And again, you can see that I got a little too excited when I was trimming my end there, and I sort of bent the beginning piece again, that's not a problem. I would go back with some pins and straighten that out to let it dry. And then once it dried, it would be a lot straighter. And then the last thing I wanted to show real quick was how to do an outline when you don't necessarily need to do a thick piece of paper or make a double strip. If you're doing a project where you have already made the inside of whatever it is you're making, like the strawberry here, I've already filled in the entire shape with quilling. I don't need my outline to be super thick and sturdy. I just run some glue along the outside of the shape. So I ran some glue along the edge of this red part of the strawberry, and then I just use the same color, and this is just a single strip. I just used the same color and ran it all the way around the glue and trimmed off any extra, making sure that everything was molded really tight to the edge of the quilling. And I try to do this on pretty much every project if I can, because I really think that having that edge of smooth paper makes everything look really finished. You don't have a lot of bumps and lumps. It's just, you can't really see it while looking at it. It just adds to the effect of a clean piece of quilling. So again, this is how I do my outlines. This is how I do my on-edge quilling. You can buy cardstock. You can cut your own paper if you have a weight that you really like using. There's other ways to do it. This is what I like to do because it saves me from having a lot of different supplies, a lot of different kinds of paper, a lot of time cutting my own. Once you get the hang of it, I think it goes really quickly. So I hope this helped in some of your future projects. And if it did, go ahead and give a like. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you can be around for my next video. Bye-bye.